"44% of Gen Z workers say they're actively sabotaging their company's AI strategy. And that's just one data point in a week where the AI backlash went mainstream. Meanwhile, the numbers tell a contradictory story. AI-skilled workers earn 56% more than their peers, but the jobs those skills were supposed to create, they're not materializing. We unpack the paradox, plus a new breed of AI agent that writes its own playbook. From a team at the Synthetic Daily, it's Thursday, May 7th, 2026. Good to have you with us.
We went through 28 posts, articles, and threads across LinkedIn, Substack, and YouTube over the past week to dive deeper into the world of AI and the workforce.
This next one surprised me. Here's a number that should make every CTO lose sleep. 44% of Gen Z workers polled say they are sabotaging their company's AI strategy in at least one way. That stat surfaced in a piece Gary Marcus flagged this week on his Substack, and it landed alongside a cascade of other signals. An AI-powered high school in the U.S. that got scrapped after protests erupted, and something called the QuitGPT movement, which Carl King described as, quote, the first true consumer-driven, social-political movement against AI.
Let's be real for a minute. Marcus has long been a skeptic of AI hype, so you might discount the framing. But the underlying data points come from mainstream polling and news outlets, and they paint a picture that's hard to wave away. This isn't Luddites smashing looms. This is knowledge workers, the exact people AI tools are built for, quietly dragging their feet. They're not marching in the streets. They're just not logging in, not adopting the tools, maybe feeding the system bad data, or refusing to share prompts that work.
Why does this matter? Because every enterprise AI roadmap assumes adoption. McKinsey's 2025 global survey found 88% of organizations use AI in at least one business function, but 62% are still stuck in pilot mode. If the people who are supposed to use these tools are actively undermining them, that 62% isn't moving to scale anytime soon. The backlash isn't just a PR problem, it's a deployment bottleneck hiding in plain sight. So here's the paradox at the center of AI labor economics right now. PwC's 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer says workers with advanced AI skills earn 56% more than peers in the same role without those skills. Wages in AI-exposed industries are rising twice as fast as in unexposed ones. And AI job postings in Q1 2025 hit over 35,000 in the U.S. alone, up 25% year over year, with a median salary pushing $157,000.
Sounds like the boom everyone predicted, right? Except the IMF published research in January showing that while AI skills command wage premiums, they have not actually contributed to employment growth. In regions with high demand for AI skills, employment in AI-vulnerable occupations is 3.6% lower after 5 years. The St. Louis Fed found a striking correlation between AI exposure scores and rising unemployment in computer and mathematical occupations since 2022.
What's happening is something economists are starting to call displacement without replacement. The people who have AI skills get paid more, great for them, but the total number of chairs at the table is shrinking. Microsoft Research's New Future of Work report quantified one brutal edge of this. Employment for workers aged 22 to 25 in highly AI-exposed jobs declined 16% relative to similar but less exposed roles. Junior hiring is slowing at firms that adopt AI. The entry ramp into knowledge work is getting steeper just as the rewards at the top get richer.
MIT Sloan professor Lawrence Schmidt offers one nuance worth holding on to. When AI can do most tasks in a given job, headcount in that role drops about 14%. But when AI only touches a few tasks within a role, employment can actually grow. The lesson? Partial augmentation creates jobs. Full automation eliminates them. The question for every professional is which side of that line their role sits on.
If you want to see where AI displacement hits first, don't look at Fortune 500 layoffs. Look at Ramp's spending data. The fintech company tracks what businesses actually pay for, and their numbers show the share of total corporate spend going to freelance labor marketplaces fell from 0.66% in Q4 2021 to 0.14% by Q3 2025. That's not a decline, that's a collapse.
That connects to something else we saw. Brookings added a finding that runs counter to what most people assume. It's not the low-skill gig workers getting squeezed first. High-skill freelancers, the designers, copywriters, consultants, developers who command premium rates, are disproportionately affected. The logic is almost cruel in its simplicity. If you're expensive and independent, you're the first line item a CFO replaces with an AI tool. You don't have an HR department lobbying for you. You don't have a union. You don't even have a Slack channel where someone might notice you're gone.
This matters because the freelance economy was supposed to be the future of work. Flexibility, autonomy, portfolio careers. All the things LinkedIn influencers have been celebrating for a decade. And for many, it still is. But the safety net was always thin, and now the floor is shifting underneath. Goldman Sachs projects 6 to 7% worker displacement over a 10-year AI adoption cycle, and they specifically flag early career knowledge workers and management consultants as most at risk. The freelance market is showing us what that displacement looks like before it shows up in the Bureau of Labor Statistics data. Let's shift from a macro to the product level. Sean Wang, known as SWYX in the developer community, published a deep conversation on latent space this week with Sarah Sachs and Simon Last from Notion about the company's custom agents feature, which shipped as part of Notion 3.0. And what's interesting here isn't just another productivity tool adding an AI chatbot. It's the architectural bet underneath.
Let me push into this a little. Notion has been building AI features since before ChatGPT launched. They had Q&A in 2023, Unified AI in 2024, Meeting Notes in 2025. But custom agents is different. The idea is that Notion becomes what SWYX calls an agent-native system of record for enterprise work. Translation: instead of being the place where you store information that humans then act on, Notion wants to be the place where AI agents live, pull context from your workspace, and actually do the work.
This tracks with what we're seeing from Hermes Agent, a project from Noose Research that YouTube creator Daniel Jindu walked through this week. Hermes is a single AI agent with a learning loop. Researchers from MIT and UC Berkeley named the underlying approach JEPA. In practice, what happens is simple but powerful. Hermes runs a task, observes what worked and what didn't, then writes a playbook, essentially a standard operating procedure stored as a markdown file. Next time a similar task appears, it pulls that playbook and executes better. Over weeks, these playbooks stack up. Your agent gets faster and more accurate at your specific workflows without any retraining of model weights.
The technical detail that matters. This isn't fine-tuning. There's no GPU required. JEPA works through API calls, editing prompts, and code. Memory lives in SQLite with full-text search, persistent across sessions. You message it on Telegram or Signal like a coworker. Jindu named his Jaden. The catch is setup, YAML files, hard-coded paths, manual gateway configuration. It's a weekend project, not a one-click install. But the direction is clear. The next generation of productivity tools won't just store your work. They'll learn your work.
Here's a data point that would have been unthinkable 3 years ago. According to Autodesk's 2025 AI jobs report, design skills have surpassed coding and technical competencies to become the most in-demand skill in AI-specific job listings. Communication, leadership, and collaboration also land in the top 10.
Think about what that means. We spent years telling people to learn to code. Boot camps proliferated. Computer science enrollments swelled. And now, the AI job market, the hottest segment of tech hiring, is asking first for people who can design systems, experiences, and interactions, and second for people who can write the code. It's not that coding doesn't matter. It's that AI is eating the implementation layer. And what's left, what commands the premium, is the layer above, deciding what to build, how it should feel, how it fits into a workflow.
This connects to something the MIT Monk channel surfaced this week in a video that got over 15,000 engagements. The argument is simple. The old advice to pick a lane and go deep is breaking down. Steve Jobs studied calligraphy and Zen. Ada Lovelace was a mathematician who saw computing decades before it existed. The polymaths, the people with too many interests, may be better suited to this moment than the specialists. When AI handles the narrow technical execution, the value shifts to people who can connect dots across domains, who can see a calligraphy class and imagine proportional font spacing.
Autodesk's numbers bear this out quantitatively. AI mentions in U.S. job listings surged 56% in 2025 through April. Both technical and non-technical AI roles are growing at similar rates. The demand isn't just for people who understand transformers. It's for people who understand humans and can design the bridge between the two.
We'll close with a problem that doesn't get enough airtime. McKinsey's latest data surfaces something counterintuitive. The employees who are most productive with AI, the creators, the power users, the people building internal tools and automating workflows, are also the most likely to quit. They're 7 percentage points more likely than light users and 10 points more likely than non-users to plan on leaving within 3 to 6 months.
The reason isn't complicated. These people know exactly what they're worth. They can see the 56% wage premium in real time because they're living it. They get recruiter messages every week. And if their current employer is still stuck in pilot mode, still in that 62% of organizations that haven't scaled AI, they know there's a company down the street that will pay them more and let them build more ambitiously.
Gallup adds another layer. 18% of all U.S. employees now say it's likely their job will be eliminated within 5 years due to AI. That number jumps to 23% among those at organizations that have already adopted AI. So the people closest to the technology are simultaneously the most valuable and the most anxious. They're the most likely to leave and the most likely to worry about being replaced themselves. That's not a stable equilibrium. It's a pressure cooker. And the companies that figure out how to retain their AI talent while managing everyone else's anxiety are going to have an enormous structural advantage over the next 2 to 3 years. All right, let's zoom out and talk about the bigger picture. What are the main themes running through everything we covered today? The first big theme is adoption resistance as strategic risk. Active sabotage by the intended users of AI tools may matter more to enterprise timelines than any technical limitation.
Next, the hollowing middle. AI is simultaneously inflating top-end wages and eliminating entry-level pathways, creating a barbell labor market where getting started is the hardest part.
Next, from tools to teammates. Products like Notion Custom Agents and Hermes represent a shift from AI as a feature inside software to AI as a persistent coworker that accumulates institutional knowledge.
Next, the design over code inversion. As AI commoditizes implementation, the market is repricing human judgment, taste, and systems thinking above raw technical execution.
And the last one, talent volatility at the frontier. The same skills that make someone indispensable to an AI-adopting firm also make them maximally portable, turning retention into the central HR challenge of the AI era.
So if you're going to take away a few things from today's episode, here's what I'd remember.
Number 1, the biggest threat to your AI roadmap might not be technical debt. It might be that 44% of your youngest workers are quietly working against it.
Number 2, If AI handles most tasks in your role, expect a 14% headcount cut. But if it only handles a few, your team might actually grow.
Number 3. The new career moat isn't knowing how to prompt a model. It's being the person who decides what the model should be doing in the first place.
And finally, your most productive AI users are your biggest flight risk. Retaining them requires giving them scope to build, not just tools to use.
That's the Synthetic Daily for today. All the sources and links are on the website if you want to dig deeper.
Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.